moving next. So now I would like to invite Mr. Kisle Kumar to give a small his opinion on the newly implemented black farm laws and how it will have impact on Indian farmers. And also, I would like to ask him to cover an aspect that what we as an responsible citizens can do to make sure that our farmers are happy and prosperous in the future.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद तुफैल अहमद साहब मुझे इनवाइट करने के लिए, और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका कि आपने IOCK की तरफ से इस इनिशिएटिव को लिया कि आज किसान अधिकार दिवस जो कांग्रेस ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है उस पे हम लोग एक प्रोग्राम करें, एंड इट इज़ आवर प्लेजर that through IOCK, Indian Overseas Congress South Korea, which is under the formation phase, we are raising voice for our farmers who are suffering in India today. While we do this program, I am not at all happy that we have to do this program, because the situation in which India has come today is very grave and very serious. So मैं इस बात को कहना चाहूंगा कि जब हिंदुस्तान का इतिहास आज से 50 या 60 साल बाद एक बार फिर से लिखा जा रहा होगा, तो उस वक्त इतिहासकार कांग्रेस के बारे में ये लिखेंगे कि कांग्रेस वो पार्टी है जिसने 1955 में एक ऐसा कानून लाया था which was against hoarding of food grains, essential commodities. Congress is the party which brought green revolution to India. Congress is the party which waived farmers loans. Congress is the party which gave the right to food protection, food security bill during the Manmohan Singh's time. Congress is the party which gave Indians the right to buy rice at 3 rupees per kg and wheat at 2 rupees per kg. This is the Congress party, and this is the DNA of Congress party, that they have always thought in favor of the poor and the farmers. और बीजेपी के बारे में जब इतिहासकार लिख रहे होंगे तो वो लिखेंगे कि ये काले जो कालाबाजारी थी जो 1955 में नेहरू के गवर्नमेंट में बंद की गई by illegalizing hoarding of food grains was legalized by Modi government in 2020 by passing an ordinance and then an amendment bill where Mr. Modi has legalized hoardings. So you can imagine, I don't understand what is the meaning, what is the purpose of legalizing hoarding. And they say that farmers can also hoard now. But can you imagine the small farmers who have, as you mentioned in your presentation, Dr. Tufail, that our Indian farmers, majority of them, they have less than 1.1 hectare of land. So it's a very small land. So those farmers with this small land and with these limited resources, do you think that they can hoard food grains? I mean, this is a kind of joke that Mr. Modi and his government is doing. So the idea over here is by legalizing these hoarding rules and by taking these essential commodities out of the Essential Commodity Act, is to give a free hand to the corporates to hoard food grains, and then by limiting the supply, increase the price. तो ये अब हम लोग चूंकि ट्रेड के स्टूडेंट हैं, I'm a student of trade. I have done my masters in international trade from one of the renowned universities of South Korea, and I've been taught by great professors who were advisors to presidents. I know how these things work. We understand that how these things work. When you limit the supply, the price goes high, and when the price goes high, the common people, the poor people have to suffer. And not only the poor people, but also the farmers would have to suffer. So this is a dual blow, a double blow to the farmers. Number one, when you purchase their products at say 100 rupees, and then you hoard it, and then you increase the price to 200 rupees, at first place, you are not giving proper price to the farmers. And number two, by hoarding and increasing the price, you are again giving a blow to the farmer, because the farmer will have to go and buy, say if they are producing oil seeds, then they have to purchase oil at a higher cost from those corporates. तो ये एक डबल ब्लो दिया है मोदी सरकार ने. और I would like to briefly, first of all, in order to criticize a law, in order to understand, in order to talk against some laws or bills, we have to understand what it is all about. So basically, briefly, I would like to put all those three laws in your views very briefly. First is called Essential Commodity Amendment Bill. In this amendment bill, the government has put out cereals, pulses, oil seeds, edible edible oil, onions, and potatoes from the list of essential commodity. Means by throwing out these items from the list of essential commodities, Modi government is saying that no, these are not the essential commodities. These can be hoarded by corporates. These can be hoarded by big, hoarders and black marketeers, and there is no such law that these things have to be protected. And Mr. Modi's government do not count these items in essential commodities as of today. So if they have already ousted cereal, pulses, oil seeds, edible oil, onion, potato, so what is left? Only vegetables. And vegetables cannot be hoarded. Everyone knows that. So Mr. Modi has, in a way, legalized hoarding of all the agricultural products. And everyone present over here, अगर आप दिल पे हाथ रख के अपने से ये सवाल पूछें कि क्या होर्डिंग अलाउड होनी चाहिए मार्केट में, आपके अंदर से आवाज आएगी नहीं, ये बहुत है, काला बाजारी को खुली छूट है। उसके बाद जो दूसरा बिल मोदी सरकार ने पास किया है अभी, वो है एम्पावरमेंट एंड प्रोटेक्शन एग्रीमेंट ऑन प्राइस एंड फार्म सर्विस बिल, जिसको कि बेसिकली हम लोग अपने आम भाषा में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग बोलते हैं। वी कॉल इट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग। So all these three bills I will talk about. The third bill is where they have illegalized, in a way they have illegalized mandis, the APMCs, the Agriculture Produce Market Committees. The third bill is Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill, कृषि उत्पादन व्यापार एवं वाणिज्य। इसमें इन्होंने मंडियों को खत्म करने का काम किया है। तो खैर अभी दूसरे बिल के बारे में हम बात करते हैं। ये आपस में all these three bills are very much connected to each other. The second bill is this contract farming bill, where they have allowed corporates to enter into the agriculture market. Mr. Modi is a free marketeer, we know through his works in Gujarat and all other places in India. यहाँ पे भी उन्होंने free market mechanism को he has tried to introduce it into the agriculture business, where the farmers are not ready. Our farmers are small, our farmers are resourceless, as Mr. Pandey has very well pointed out in his speech today, that the farmers, they are dependent on rainwater. We do not have agriculture के लिए we do not have organized irrigation facilities even today in India. So giving it to corporates, introducing the presence of corporates in agriculture sector is a very dangerous precedent that Mr. Modi is setting. As Mr. Pandey, our chief speaker today, who came here for a very short time, he has already mentioned that how these sugar mills, they cheat the farmers. उन्होंने बताया कि शुगर मिल्स में अगर फार्मर अपना गन्ना बेचता है तो 14 दिन के बाद 15वें दिन से इंटरेस्ट का प्रावधान है. There is a provision of giving interest if the mills do not pay the farmers, then from 15th day of non-payment they have to count interest and then they have to pay the farmers with interest. But the payment is made after 6 months or 1 year. I am also son of a farmer and I know how my father has suffered. So this is a story of every household here in Champaran. I am from Champaran. I am from the Gandhi's land and I know how farmers are suffering over here. Gandhi's land has been exploited in such a bad manner by this present government that no other government has ever done this with the land of Gandhi's action. चंपारण के साथ जो आज इन्होंने धोखा किया है, और जदयू बीजेपी की सरकार कहती है कि हम लोग देशभक्त सरकार हैं, ये हैं और वो हैं, जिस तरीके से चंपारण को इन लोगों ने ठगा है, किसान जब गन्ना किसान मार्केट में जाता है, अपना गन्ना बेचता है, तो सबसे पहले तो 10 दिन तक उनका गन्ना वहां से उठाया नहीं जाता है. जब उनका गन्ना सूख जाता है, जब उसका वेट कम हो जाता है, तो कम वेट पे उनका गन्ना उठाया जाता है. उसके बाद उनको पेमेंट के लिए 6-6 महीने तक दौड़ाया जाता है. अब आपको एक और चीज मैं बताता हूँ. यहाँ पे एक रिसीप्ट सिस्टम है, पुर्जी सिस्टम है यहाँ पे. अगर आपने 10,000 या 1 लाख का गन्ना बेचा तो 1 लाख का आपको रिसिप्ट मिलेगा. And that receipt is later on sold by the farmers in the market to others because they need money. So if they need money to after say 3 months or 2 months and the payment has not been made, they sell their receipt at a lower cost. So if the receipt is of 1 lakh rupees, they sell it for 50,000 rupees in the market and they go in a loss of 50,000 rupees because they need money. This is the condition of Indian farmers today. And this is the condition of Indian farmers in BJP JDU government, which says that they are going to increase the farmers, farmers' income. And as Mr. Pandey has mentioned very clearly that there is no policy, the government does not have any policy through which they can say that they are going to increase the income of the farmer in such a manner. He has also raised one very important issue. He has said that the sugarcane price has not been increased in last few years, in last 6 or 7 years, while the inflation is around, inflation is all time high. तो यहाँ पे एक और चीज देखने लायक है कि आप, when you are not increasing the farmers, the price of the farmers produce, you are in a way pushing them into more unequal society where farmers' income is going low, and at the same time, the inflation and the income of other people are going high. Go and talk to an engineer who is working in a private sector. He's earning 50,000 rupees today. But farmer who works 24/7 on his land earns 20,000 rupees for say 30,000 rupees for a bigha of land where he produces rice in Bihar today. So this is the reality. Now, at this particular point of time, you are bringing contract farming. There are very important points which has to be raised when we talk about contract farming, and which has to be raised when we become very happy about contract farming, that, hey, the price would already be fixed by the corporates. If the price of the wheat in the market is 20 rupees, corporates will give you 22 rupees and they will already fix the price and they will purchase it. No, it's not going to be as green as you think. It has some very important issues which you have to take into consideration. Number one is, what if the payments are delayed? Like, as you have seen, the payments are delayed in Bihar. When we see about the sugar mills in Bihar, they delay the payment. If the corporates, after signing a contract, if they delay the payment of the farmer for 6 months, has the government brought any law, the government which says that they are the saviors of the farmers and they care about the farmers? Have they brought any law where they have prohibited or they have said anything against delayed payment by the corporates in contract farming? No, they haven't, because they know everything. It's not that the government doesn't know it, or it has been done by mistake. They know everything, but they are giving loopholes, and this is what they say as favorable condition for the market. This is what they say कि बहुत ही favorable condition है corporates के लिए, and this is what they call it as ease of doing business. To hell with this ease of doing business. If the farmers are not provided proper protection, to hell with this ease of doing business. And we do not consider Congress party, and we, the members of the Indian Overseas Congress, South Korea, we do not consider this ease of doing business any good for the nation. Second thing, what if the company goes bankrupt? Has the government brought any bill? Has the government brought any provision? If the company goes bankrupt and denies payment to the farmers, is the government going to support those farmers? Because they have already put them in the framework of the free market. Free market has an invisible hand, so-called invisible hand. Mr. Modi, being a free marketeer, must be very happy about it, that if the corporates take all those produce in 5 years and then they go bankrupt, then they have to pay nothing. And then the government will, they will take some loan from the government, and the government will finally write off their loans. Farmers will be left completely, destroyed and destructed. Government does not have any provision for this one. Other thing, all these issues, all these loopholes are not made punishable offense. Means any corporate personals, their owners, their managers will not be punished if they do anything against these farmers. The other thing is that, what if company says that, hey, I signed the contract, but now I don't have the requirement. I'm not going to purchase your produce. What is the government going to do after that? They will, corporate has a crying tendency. They will cry and they will say that we cannot produce because our market is lost. Our buyer has signed off the contract with us, so we cannot buy. We cannot buy from you. What are you going to do after that? One more point is very important. Corporate means profit maximization. If the corporate says that if I am going to sign a contract with you for 5 years, you have to use this fertilizer for 5 years. And what if the land becomes barren and non-productive, as Mr. Tufail mentioned in his opening speech? If the land becomes unproductive after the use of a particular fertilizer, the government is not going to see anything. They are not going to do anything. The corporate will shift to another piece of land. They will shift to another village for exploiting the farmers over here. And these farmers who had the contract with these corporates will be left destroyed. तो गवर्नमेंट के पास कोई ऐसा प्रावधान नहीं है कि अगर उनकी जमीन का जो उपजाऊ शक्ति है, उसकी उर्वरा शक्ति जो है, वो अगर कम हो जाती है उनके जमीन की, तो उस समय गवर्नमेंट इनको किसी भी तरीके के फार्मर्स को सब्सिडी दे या उनकी मदद करे. गवर्नमेंट हैज गॉट नो प्रोविजन फॉर दिस. द अदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इशू अबाउट दिस इज अबाउट द शेयर क्रॉपर्स. जो बटाईदार किसान होते हैं, जो छोटे किसान होते हैं, जिनके पास अपनी जमीन नहीं होती है, वो क्या करेंगे? अगर कॉर्पोरेट अपने लोगों को लेके आती है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करती है और बोलती है कि हमारे लोग ही खेती करेंगे तुम्हारी जमीन पे, तो वो बटाईदार, वो शेयर क्रॉपर्स जो है, वेयर विल दोस शेयर क्रॉपर्स गो? So these are some very important issues for the farmers, and for the common people to think when we pat the back of the government for bringing in these laws. Now the other one जिसके बारे में सबसे ज़्यादा हंगामा हो रहा है, that is the bill where they have where they are trying to crush, where they are trying to delegitimize the APMCs, मंडी को जो इन लोग बंद करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. वहां पे क्या है कि यहाँ पे देखिए बहुत जरूरी चीज ये है कि we have to understand that the farmers in India are very small. So a farmer who produces a truck of say onion cannot sell it by their own. There is no MSP on onion. Government doesn't buy the onion, so the farmers have to go into the market for selling. So these mandis where they go and sell, they directly get a buyer over there. But if the mandis are not in, they are no more, their existence is over. They are not existing. So where will these farmers go and sell their products? So this is a very common thing that the government should have thought of, but they are not thinking. They are just saying that हमने बिचौलिया को हटा दिया, लेकिन बिचौलिया क्या करता था? बिचौलिया अगर आपसे 2.5% या 3% लेता था, तो बिचौलिया used to provide you space for storage, cold storage बना के रखा हुआ था. उन्होंने they had already other buyers where they used to sell your products by buying in bulk. So 100 farmers go to a bichaulia and the bichaulia sells it to other buyers. So the farmers were at ease. Now you are saying you are patting your back and you are saying that we have destroyed the business of the middlemen, but you have actually not destroyed the business of the middlemen. You have destroyed the business of the whole farmers. So these bills which the government has brought, there is also one more angle to see these bills. I, being a trade student, I know that WTO, the World Trade Organization, is completely against the MSP. They say that MSP is a trade distortive, is a market distortive rule. And government of India, the government of China, the government of Indonesia, these developing countries who provide MSP to their farmers should get rid of MSPs. The government of India, being pro-free market and being under the pressure of the international organizations and these neoliberal organizations, they are trying to, am I audible?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So they are in a way trying to follow the instructions of their global masters, and they are in a way they have been pressurized by WTO and what WTO says, their so-called motivation of free market and fair practices of trade. So it's a shame for us that the government is not standing for the farmers, but they are standing for some other forces. If you see the history of the Congress government till date has been very successfully able to protect its agricultural business. So, our policies, our agricultural policies have always been protectionist, and we must feel very proud about it that Congress government has, these protectionist policies for protecting our farmers. But the BJP government seem to be, completely devoid of any empathy for the farmers, and I don't know where they are moving. So this is what I wanted to say today. Thank you very much for listening to me very patiently. Now I would like to hand over the screen to Mr. Tufail.